The thing I like about Vasquez is that she really has a tight hold on the whole procedure.
That I don't know.
Oh my God.
I have no idea when this image was taken.
You'd remember that.
Okay, Mom, part 2 of the Johnny Depp vs Amber Heard case. I want you to react to Camille Vasquez
She's cross-examining Amber Heard.
in the rebuttal case. Or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah,
Perfect.
okay.
Empty. Even though I had given Johnny's team notice that I was filing a
Objection,
TRO,
Your Honor, this is not
we had no
responsive.
reason to
Move to
believe the
strike.
press knew.
And Your Honor, I would also ask that you instruct the witness to please stop talking once I lodge an objection.
Your Honor, she's trying to answer the question as best she can, and Ms. Vasquez is misrepresenting to her what she testified to.
Well, I'll strike the last part.
The thing I like about Vasquez is that she really has a tight hold on the whole procedure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes lawyers can stand up and they get really caught up in their job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've got to get through these questions and I've got to, you know, ask these questions and I've got to be really sort of authoritative. Vasquez, she's got the whole room. You know, she knows exactly the process, the procedure. She just said there, you have to tell the witness to stop talking when I stand up to actually, or, you know, when she goes to strike. In other words, she has to understand the respect and the protocol within the court system itself.
The last part is non-responsive. Just if you could just answer the questions asked. Okay, thank you, Ms. Heard.
And the judge can't argue with that, which is why she then said to Amber, the minute the lawyers start talking, you need to stop. You need to shut up. You can't keep talking and telling your story.
What does non-responsive mean?
I didn't quite get the beginning part because we're 4 minutes in, but I think the question that Vasquez has asked Amber wasn't being answered and she was going off on a tangent, and it wasn't responsive to her question.
Right.
So then Vasquez has stood up to say, that's not relevant, and Amber's kept talking.
Right.
So then she said, I moved to strike. In other words, because she kept talking, I don't want that on the court record. I want that struck off the court record, and anyone that's listening, that needs to be, you know, motion to strike, take it out, basically.
Right.
In fact, you testified that you were, quote, shocked when you saw press when you were leaving the courthouse. Yes?
Yes.
You weren't shocked at all, though, were you?
Incorrect. It was
You knew the press
horrifying.
would be at the courthouse, right, Ms. Heard?
No.
Well, you did bring your publicist to the courthouse with you on May 27th, 2016, didn't you?
I sure did. I'm a public figure. I brought my publicist in case it blew up. In case. And
You actually
I'm glad
had
I did.
alerted TMZ that you would be filing a TRO against Mr. Depp that very day,
No, I did
didn't
not.
you?
No, I did
The
not.
one
I think the main difference between Vasquez and obviously Amber's lawyer is that what we're seeing now is proper cross-examination. It's a question, didn't you? It's a question, didn't you? Do you know what I mean? The Amber's lawyer was slightly more soft, shall we say. She just wasn't as authoritative. You know, she was sort of allowing the witnesses to rule her, really. Vasquez has got she's got a handle on this. She knows where she's going with it and she knows what she wants to do. And it doesn't even matter if Vasquez asks a question and Amber disagrees with her. She's moving on to the next question. She's moving on. And of course, what the layperson is now impressed with is Vasquez. They're probably not listening to Amber at this stage and thinking, wow, she's really good, actually. Johnny's got the case, like because his lawyers is all over it, and that is the skill of a really good advocate right there. Because it doesn't matter what Amber's saying, we're all blown away by how good Vasquez is.
You didn't bother to wear makeup to cover up the mark on your face.
I did not call TMZ or any other news source or paparazzi source. No one.
Well,
I never
heard
did that.
testimony from former TMZ employee Morgan Tremaine yesterday, correct?
Did I hear his testimony?
Yes.
Yes, I was here.
Yes. And you heard Mr. Tremaine's testimony that he knew to dispatch the paparazzi to the courthouse on May 27th, right?
I heard him say that he knew that, yes.
Yeah, and that he dispatched paparazzi to the courthouse to capture a picture of an alleged bruise on the right side of your face. Do you remember him saying that?
I remember him saying that.
That information must have come from your team, right, Ms. Heard?
Absolutely not. Why would I want that? What actual survivor of domestic violence wants that?
Now, the video...
To be believed. To be believed, Miss Heard, because if you are alleging that Johnny's hit you, why would you not go to court without makeup on, bearing the bruise and have the press there? Like, that answer's ridiculous. Like, why would I do that? To be believed.
Depp beating up some kitchen cabinets. You admit that you took that video, correct?
Yes, I did.
All right. And you acknowledge...
I remember when that video went out on social media, And I thought everybody that's watching that video is going to think, oh my God, Johnny's an animal, because he was slammed a kitchen door and I think he got frustrated and he threw down a glass or whatever. It was completely out of context. Like what was the preamble? What happened up to that point? And isn't it interesting that whilst he was being violent, Amber's words, she was calm enough to take the video.
Yeah.
If you're a real victim of domestic violence, I would assume if the perpetrator kicks off, you're immediately going to start to shut down. You're immediately going to start to shake and panic and think, oh my God, you know, he's going to shut the kitchen door and now he's going to turn around and slap me. I doubt you're going to be stood there going, just getting all this on camera. just for the court case.
Released online the day before you were deposed in connection with your divorce from Mr. Depp in August of 2016, right?
I believe it was, yes.
But you testified that you had absolutely nothing to do with the video's release, right?
Absolutely not.
And you testified that you learned about it when you landed after flying into LA.
Do you see the pause there? When Amber answers a question, she looks absolutely not back at Vasquez. Did not do that back at Vasquez.
Yeah.
That question, when she answered it, absolutely not. And she can't look Vasquez in the eye. And I would say because she's lying. If you rewind that part.
Release, right?
Absolutely not.
And you testified that you learned.
She really pauses after she answers. Vasquez is over here, and she just can't look her back in the eye again. I would say because she's lying.
Testimony?
Upon touchdown is when I was alerted to the video's
You
existence
heard Mr.
online.
Tremaine testify about this video as well yesterday, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
And you heard Mr. Tremaine testify that TMZ received the cabinet video the same day you landed at LAX, yes?
I don't know if that, I don't know.
I don't know at all. Oh my God. She's like, Vasquez is really drilling her down. Every little point, you know, and that's the thing. The devil's in the detail. That's what they say. Don't overlook the detail. We're not going to just ask a question about the journey. We're going to ask a question about when you checked in, when you went through security, when you put your foot on the plane, when you were on the plane, when you got off you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The detail is so key. And as a cross-examiner, just keep them questions coming, bang, 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 because eventually your witness is going to be like, oh my God, but they will slip up, 100%. And you've got to listen to what they're saying, the witness, you've got to listen to their answers, because you might be able to use that. There might be a nugget
she's done
there.
it a few times. She's like, you said this a week ago, and now,
And now you're
actually-
saying
and now you're
this.
saying
Yes,
this.
but you've got to, it's like rapid fire, keep them coming.
If that's what his testimony was, I'm sorry.
You heard Mr. Tremaine testify that the cabinet video was posted 15 minutes after TMZ received it, yes?
That's what I heard him say.
And that this could only have been possible if the video was received directly from the source, yes?
I heard him say that. I don't know if that's true or if that's possible because
And
it
you
didn't
heard
come from me. I was
Mr.
flying.
Tremaine
So
testify.
I know that's incorrect is what I mean to say.
Another liar on the stand.
I just know that that's incorrect.
Right. And you heard Mr. Tremaine testify that TMZ owns the copyright to the cabinet video.
That was a subtle little, okay, Amber, we hear what you're saying, so he lied as well. Let's move on, that's fine. Because all you've got to do as a cross-examiner is just drop that in. Just drop that in. So another lie's like what you're saying, okay, let's move on. You know, but don't give her the opportunity to answer, because she's already said, well, I heard him say that, but I don't know if that's true. Oh, so he's a liar now?
Right?
That's news to me.
The cabinet video you filmed of your then husband, yes?
The copyright ownership of that is news to me. I learned that yesterday.
It's the cabinet video that you captured of your then husband, yes?
That is correct. I did capture that video, and
The
yes,
cabinet
that was
video-
my husband.
The same cabinet video that was released the night before you were deposed in your divorce, yes?
That's correct.
You must have also heard Mr. Tremaine testify that the version of the
I
cabinet
mean, look, where did it come from? Amber, it's on your phone, and then the whole world can see it. What, did you share it with a friend? Did you accidentally, press send when you shouldn't have done? Of course it's come from you.
Yeah.
Johnny's not going to send that out. You know, did someone else get your phone and know your password? I mean, it's just a ridiculous. And I think that's why Vasquez labours the point. Because it doesn't really matter where it comes from. It goes to Amber's credibility.
Right.
What we're trying to show here is that Amber is basically lying.
Yeah.
That her testimony cannot be believed, that her
Right, yeah.
version of events cannot be believed. So we're going to bang on about this little video. And again, the layperson might think, okay, move on about the video, but the damage is being done. Amber's credibility is being affected.
Cabinet video that TMZ received was incomplete compared to the video the jury saw in this trial. Did you hear that?
The video that that you have seen is complete.
Right. But the one TMZ got the day before your deposition in the divorce was incomplete.
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
He testified that at the
But you recorded it. You hadn't seen it. You recorded it, so you know exactly what's on there.
beginning portion of the video where you set up the camera, that wasn't included in the video that TMC received.
I don't know what video TMZ
I'm talking
received.
about Mr. Tremaine's testimony, Ms. Heard. Let's just
So you're
focus on
asking me
Mr.
to
Tremaine.
repeat his testimony?
No, I'm asking you if you recall hearing.
When all else fails, play dumb as
Yeah.
a witness. When all else fails, sorry, what did you say? Testimony?
She
Was
does
that,
that
was
all
that
the
yesterday?
time,
Was
yeah.
that was I in court? Who am I? What's going on here? All she's doing now is buying herself time. But again, it's gold because up until this point, she has been able to answer the question. So as a cross-examiner, Vasquez now, just by a visual of Amber, will know, I'm getting to her, I'm breaking her down, and now's the time to keep going. You've got to drive it home.
It's like a match.
Yeah?
Words to this jury.
Yes,
Under
I
oath.
heard his testimony. We all did.
And he testified that the end of the video where you can be seen smirking. I know you testified earlier that you haven't been smirking in this trial, but you sure were caught on camera smirking in that video.
I disagree with that.
Was also not included in the TMZ video.
Everyone can watch that video and you can determine whether you think it's funny to me or not.
Has the video been played?
So, yeah, in court, yeah, but the whole video. So what she gave to TMZ was she cut the start, which
Right.
is her setting up, and the
Right.
end of it where she turned back round to the camera smirking a little bit.
Got ya.
So initially when everyone saw it, it was just a bit of Johnny reacting.
Yes.
What court saw was everything.
So she was smirking?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's because the video came from you, right, Ms. Heard?
No, it did not.
You
That
edited
video
out
did
the
not
portions.
come to me.
Ms.
Come
Heard,
from me.
Ms. Heard, you edited out the portions that made you look bad before sending it to TMC.
You're very wrong about that.
So
if
that
I
only
wanted to
Mr.
leak
Depp
information, I
looked
could have
bad.
done it in a more effective way, a lot sooner and a lot more.
Because you
I
knew
was
exactly
living
how
with
to
a
do that,
mountain
right?
of this evidence. If I wanted to leak it, I could have done a lot more with it.
I thought you testified earlier in this trial that you didn't know how to leak things.
I
Remember
don't.
that? Right. You edited that video before you gave it to TMZ so that only Mr. Depp would look bad. Yes?
That's absurd.
Right in the middle of your divorce proceedings.
Again, you're very wrong.
But it was her video.
Yeah.
So how can she be wrong? It was her video. But do you see how Vasquez doesn't follow up on that? Just leave it hanging. Just leave it hanging. Vasquez has said, but it's your video, you edited it, you cut it so it would look really terrible. The court's seen the whole video, you've cut that and edited it to leak. No, that wasn't me, no, that wasn't me. Just leave it. Because Vasquez could actually damage the case by trying to prod even more, but it's done. Just leave that hanging there now. Who's going to be believed?
I'd like to show you a picture that's already admitted into evidence. It's Defendant's Exhibit 799. This is you at the courthouse on May 27th, 2016, when you got your domestic violence restraining order against Mr. Depp, right?
It is.
And next to you is a woman named Jody Gottlieb, right?
Yes, yes.
Jody Gottlieb is your publicist.
And dear friend.
Now I'd like to show you what's been marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit 1316. This is a picture of you and your friend Rocky Pennington, right?
That is correct.
Your Honor, I'd like to move to admit this photograph.
Any objection to 1316?
So what Vasquez is doing there is asking permission to submit whatever this photo is into evidence so that it can be used. Yeah, so it can be seen, it can be shown, it can be used, it can be questioned about. Any evidence that you wish to submit to court, you've got to have the court's permission. And then the court are then duty-bound sort of say to the opponents any objection to that. And if your opponent objects to that evidence, then you may have to approach the bench. In America, we don't approach the bench in the UK, but in America they'll approach the bench and maybe have a little, discussion about the relevance of it, why they're objecting to it, etc.
This is a picture of you on May 28th, 2016, right, Ms. Heard?
I don't know when this was taken.
This is the day after you obtained the domestic violence restraining order against Mr. Depp, right?
I have no idea when this image was taken.
You'd remember that. You know, most people can remember when a photo is taken. She's in the photo with somebody else. You'd recognise it by the fact that, oh yeah, that's when I had that jumper on, or that was that bag that I used to. Do you know what I mean? To say you don't remember when the photo was taken. And remember, you're going to have gone through all this evidence prior to this hearing. Everything's going to have been refreshed in your mind.
Taken. I did not take it.
There's no bruise on your face in this picture, is there?
Again, I don't know when this was taken, and also
But that's not the question.
I was just about to say.
Is there a bruise on your face, yes or no? That's it.
outside. I was obviously wearing makeup. I have no idea when this was taken, so I have no idea if I can
Let's
speak to
refresh your
what
recollection.
bruise you can
Let's
see or
refresh
not.
your recollection about when this picture was taken. Can we please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 1315, just for the witness?
Vasquez now wants her to say, on the 28th of May or whenever it was, there was no bruise on your cheek. Yes? Yes, because she's got the evidence there, which is why she's asked for this to be brought in. But the day before, you were at the courthouse with a big old shiner.
Yeah.
What happened there?
This is an article dated May 30th, 2016, right, Ms. Heard?
That's what it says, yes.
And this article contains the same photograph of you and Miss Pennington we were just looking at, yes?
Yes, I see that.
And the article is entitled, Amber Heard Smiles as She Puts Arm Around Friend One Day After Getting Restraining Order Against Johnny Depp. Is that what the title says?
I know that's what the title says, yes.
Your Honor, I'm going to move to admit and publish the article with everything but the headline and date and the photo redacted.
Objection, Your Honor. That's inconsistent from the way you've treated all of these.
I'll sustain the objection. All right, next question.
Let's take a look at picture Plaintiff's Exhibit 1317. This is also a picture of you and Miss Pennington on May 28th, 2016, isn't it?
I don't know when this photo was taken, but it looks like the same outing as
We've just clarified the date of the paper, the headline of the paper. You're probably wearing, I don't know because you're going to see the picture, you're probably wearing the same thing, carrying the same laptop with the same bag. Oh, I have no clue when that was taken. Like, come on, Amber. You probably don't wear the same item of clothing more than once. Yeah. So there's every chance it was taken on the same day.
Your Honor, I'm going to move to admit and
I wish I could see the picture because it's probably a close-up of her face. And that's when paparazzi come into their own, isn't it?
It was quite interesting watching the solicitor kind of review that.
Yeah.
Because it did, you made it seem like it was war.
Yeah.
Like it was almost like 1-0, 2-0.
I think what's key in your mind as the advocate is always the power of persuasion. You have to be able to persuade the court, whether it be the jury or the judge, that what you're saying and your evidence is the one that has to be believed. Mm-hmm. So yes, it does turn into a strategic game battle, call it what you will.